Welcome. I want to thank you all for joining us here this evening on our special health talk. It is, I have to say, it's one of my favorites. I do have many topics that are up there, but the reason why this is one is it's very near and dear to my heart. Some of you know my story, and I was introduced to Neolife over 31 years ago. I was working as a police officer in Toronto, and I was struggling. I was in my 20s. I did have some joint pain, allergies, and hormonal imbalance and digestive trouble. And a neighbor and a dear friend shared her story with me, and I was curious to try the products. And boy, am I ever glad that I said yes. Because right around that same time, my mom was in her 40s, and she was struggling with a lot of pain. And back then, fibromyalgia was not being diagnosed. And I'm going to share her journey as I go through this presentation, because she's one of the reasons that inspired me to continue sharing and to get more involved in the business opportunity, because I really wanted to have an impact in people's lives and continue sharing this powerful information. But I want to let you know that, Neolife never claims to cure a condition or cure a disease, but it's amazing how good nutrition, balancing hormones, reducing inflammation, this gives you a better quality of life. And sometimes when you look at your diet, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to eat healthy every single day. And that's what I'm going to share here with you this evening. When you're looking at joint health and muscle health, it has to do with cells and energy. And we're going to talk about cellular health, and we're going to talk about energy. But diet is the key. You are what you eat. And the reality is that 75% of all chronic diseases are preventable. But one of the biggest challenges is what we're putting into our body, and sugar is one of the things that you really need to look at. Sugar is hidden in a lot of foods, packaged foods, canned goods, and then what our kids are consuming today is a lot of sugar. So sugar does cause inflammation in the body. It does cause havoc in the body. So these are one of the things I would highly recommend. I call this sometimes food. It should not be something that you're consuming on a daily basis. So really look at your diet, look at the sugar consumption. And the Canadian Food Guide back in 2019 made an incredible change to their food guide, where half of your plate should be your dark colored fruits and vegetables when you're looking at your meals, with a little bit of lean protein and a little bit of carbohydrates, which are your grains. And we're going to talk about some of these foods and how we can make these better choices and how to fill the nutritional gaps in our diet. And water should be your drink of choice. But let's talk about the grains and some of these nutrients that we're just not getting in our diet. This was a recent study that came out of Lancet, and it was done in over 190 countries. And they found that it's what you aren't eating is what's actually killing us. And this was a global study. So the studies showed there was danger from what was missing, and that's your lipids and phytosterols. Well, what is that? I didn't know what this was, but when I looked at Neolife 31 years ago, it really opened my eyes. I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was getting everything from my food. I was exercising, but I still had all these challenges with fatigue and hormonal imbalance. I didn't know that these lipids and phytosterols were no longer in our food. I didn't understand until I took a closer look. So another thing that they found, that we not only were we not getting whole grains in our diet, low fruit, low nuts and seeds, low omega-3, and low vegetables. So these are the things that we just were not eating enough of. So how do you fill these gaps in our diet? Yes, by making better food choices, but taking supplements is really, really important. And it's just designed to help to fill the gap. Are you taking whole food supplements? Are they natural? Are they synthetic? Are they store-bought? Who do you trust? And I took a closer look because I was watching my mom take supplements with no results. And I didn't understand that there was a difference over 31 years ago until I took a closer look. There were so many companies and products that were being pulled off the shelf, and they were finding, adulterated herbals. They were finding, inactive ingredients, speed-like ingredients, things that shouldn't have been in their products. So many products. And there's been studies after studies, and a lot of products, a lot of companies have been in trouble over the years. And that's why when I took a closer look at Neolife, it was definitely a name that I trusted. Again, scientific solutions since 1958, a pharmaceutical license for manufacturing, established in over 50 countries around the world, pioneer in the industry, and a respected scientific research team. And they base all of their research based in nature and backed by science. And this is really important. This is why the products work. And this is our scientific advisory board. Dr. Arthur First was the founding member of our scientific advisory board. He was one of the top cancer researchers in the world, top toxicologist. And he knew that food and nutrition and diet played a key role in slowing the aging, preventing disease, and reducing inflammation in the body. But he knew we just weren't eating enough of these foods that we're going to be talking about as I go through this presentation tonight. And, he fell in love with supplementation. He knew that this was the answer, but he wanted to work with a company that based their whole philosophy on whole food. So grateful he partnered with Neolife. And because of this man, many of our products have been published in the most prestigious peer-reviewed scientific journals. And this is really important because these are third-party studies, whereas a lot of companies can have publications and publish their findings, but this is very important that it's third-party and peer-reviewed. And the reason why these studies have been published is the products are made not just from natural sources, they're made from whole food and non-GMO since 1958. And they can test all the products, all the raw materials, batch testing, product testing to make sure that the nutrients are still in the product after manufacturing. This is really important. And this is why when my mom started taking some of these amazing products, her health improved tremendously. So let's talk about how to fill these nutritional gaps. So we have something called the Vitality Pack. And we're going to talk about 4 key nutrients that are kind of like the core nutrition. And then we're going to dive in a little more on pain and inflammation and arthritis and fibromyalgia and things like that. But this is the core nutrition, because remember that study, it talked about having to eat whole grains, fruits and nuts, and omega-3 fatty fish. Well, that's all in this amazing pack. Because our grains are no longer whole anymore, they used to grind the wheat, make the flour, make the bread. Our breads had a very short shelf life, and now they last weeks, past the last, forever, and cereals last years, because they remove this outer layer. This grain oil is gone that contains all these critical nutrients. So Tran grain concentrate was how Neolife developed back in 1958. And every box is equivalent to consuming 12 pounds of whole grain in a month. And it contains those essential lipids from the grain. It was developed for a hospital research study with people that were suffering with chronic fatigue. When I took Tran, the energy, the mental clarity, the hormonal balance, it just really made an impact. And my mom as well had incredible results, and no GMO. And gluten-free. Because I know sometimes people say, oh, it's grain, it's wheat, I can't eat wheat. Well, it's just those lipids and sterols from the grain. And we have trillions of cells, and these lipids and sterols, these grain oils from Tran, surround every cell in your body. So if you're not getting these grain oils in your diet, your cell looks like this. Nutrients can't get in, waste can't get out. And that's really important. As soon as you add Tran, guess what happens? The cell membrane gets soft and permeable. Nutrients can now go in, and waste can now leave the cell. So you have a lot of tired cells that all of a sudden are working better, and they're energized, and you're only as healthy as your cells. Tran was proven to help your body absorb nutrients in your diet by 50% more. Okay, so if you have a great diet, this will just make your body work better, efficiently, and nutrients absorb better in through that cell wall. So the evil twins of aging are inflammation and oxidation. So you need to look at, again, foods that cause these things in your body that cause disease. Well, fruits and vegetables produce oxidative damage. So when you look at carotenoids is other little capsule that's in there, and it's made from your dark colored fruits and vegetables. And in one box, after consuming this Vitality Pack, it's equivalent to consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in every box. Powerful product for the immune system. And that plays a really big role with inflammation as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It was clinically proven to boost your immune system 37% in just 20 days, and also helps to protect your heart, which is really important. Now let's talk about the fish and the omega-3, and it's a challenge to eat 3 servings of fresh fish a week. I'm finding only because of the quality of the fish, you don't know if you're eating mercury or lead, and the omega-3 that's in this product, in the Salmon Oil Plus, it's pure, it's potent, cold pressed. It helps with your heart, your brain, your joints, healthy eyes, and even important for the growth and development of your baby. So important. But it's tested for over 200 potential contaminants with an allowance of 0. So no mercury, no lead. That's why I was very comfortable taking this product before pregnancy, during pregnancy. It plays such a big role in reducing inflammation in the body. And it was proven to help with triglycerides, but also lowered the inflammatory index 68% in just 8 weeks. And that's really, really powerful. And the last little product that's in here is a multivitamin. So you're getting all your vitamins and minerals, you're getting some enzymes to help digest. You're getting all of these nutrients in this convenient pack called Pro Vitality. So you're getting your grain oils called Tran, you're getting your carotenoids, which are your fruits and veggies, your omega-3, and a multivitamin. So this is a fabulous place to start. And then when you add the amazing Neolife Shake, the protein, this is where you have energy, vitality, and also healing. Protein are the building blocks and the healers in your body. All natural, all 22 amino acids. It's easy to digest. It tastes great, has some fiber, but really important, it has that glycemic control response. So what does that mean? Not only does it help with diabetes, but when you get your blood sugar in that glycemic control zone, it helps with fat burning. Well, why does that play a role with inflammation that we're talking about tonight? Well, if you're overweight, there's a lot of weight on your joints that can also cause inflammation and arthritis, and even plantar fasciitis and things like that. So you've got to look at your weight and are you carrying too much weight on your joints? Well, the Neolife Shake is fantastic to help with reducing body fat. It does come along also with a great weight management program. You can replace 2 meals or just your breakfast. It really depends on how much weight you're looking at losing or you need to lose. So we've had people just introduce the Neolife Shake in the morning for breakfast and reduce their body fat, which really helps with joint pain. Carlos was an incredible testimonial. Before he lost his weight, he was arthritic, he was full of pain, he couldn't exercise, he was on medication. And boy, being on the Neolife weight management program, his life turned around completely. He started to do some little marathons and triathlons, and the quality of life just really changed, and he's so healthy. But the main thing is he's kept the weight off. Okay, and that's really important. So great news, for every 1 pound lost, it removes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. Because you hear a lot of people struggle with joint pain, especially if they're overweight. So just by reducing your body fat and your weight, it's amazing how you can help reduce some of that inflammation in your body as well. So for those of you that are more plant-based, Neolife did launch a vegan option as well. And it tastes great, comes in vanilla, and that's another option for those of you that are looking for something a little more plant-based, and it's biologically complete and has the amino acids and just an incredible fat blend product as well, 0 grams of sugar, and very easy to digest. So again, just another option for those of you that are looking for something a little more plant-based. So when you're looking at the targeted solutions and you're looking at what we're focusing on tonight is inflammation and joint pain and muscle pain. So that breakfast solution, having a vitality pack and the Neolife Shake is definitely your core nutrition. It's a great place to start. Okay. And when you're looking at arthritis in Canada, 1 in 5 are struggling with joint pain. Okay. And joint pain and stiffness affects so many adults, and even our children today are really struggling with joint pain. You hear a lot in even our younger generation today. But cartilage is something also as we age. Cartilage is something that's really, really important for lubricating, weight bearing, friction eliminating, shock absorbing tissue. That is the key to the joints as well. And it does so much in the body. It allows us to walk tens of thousands of miles in our lifetime in complete comfort. It facilitates millions, jaw motion, everything. And I have to share with you that when I was introduced over 31 years ago, I had to modify my workouts. So I did train on the police force. I couldn't practice every day for my run to pass my physical because my knees were really bad. I played a lot of basketball growing up. So I had to literally modify my workouts while I was training on the police force so I could finish my physical. Well, let me tell you, when I looked at this, changed my life. I do more now in my 50s than I did when I was in my 20s and 30s. And this was the key, was getting the inflammation and getting the cartilage working properly. And osteoarthritis, I mean, it's painful inflammation, stiffness of the joints, resulting a breakdown of cartilage. And this is usually something that happens as you age, but also wear and tear. Like I said, I played a lot of volleyball, a lot of basketball growing up, a lot of high impact aerobics that just did a lot of damage to the cartilage and thinned cartilage. And this, again, happens naturally with age as well. And the key nutrients for joint health that promotes joint flexibility and range of motion is zinc, boron, silica, glucosamine, and omega-3 fatty acids. So these are the key nutrients that help with keeping your joints flexible. Okay. So the benefits of glucosamine. So when you're supplementing with a glucosamine, it just helps to slow down the breakdown of cartilage. It helps to rebuild and repair, regenerate cartilage, reverse the osteoarthritis process, reduce pain and other symptoms. So for comfort, flexibility, and mobility. So when I introduced this product to my mom and to my health, this is what really kind of just sealed the deal. The difference in our joint pain. And what's really nice about this product is pharmaceutically pure and biologically functional. A lot of glucosamine products out there, I've had some people share with me that they took them for a little while and they worked a little bit and then they stopped working. Well, I've been taking this product for well over 20 years and it's been incredible in my life, and I work out quite regularly. It's fast acting. It has a herbal complex and different key nutrients that just help with building and rebuilding cushioning for the joints, and has a mineral complex as well. It's so important to keep that cartilage healthy for growth and maintenance, and it's bioavailable. That's why a lot of people, when they use the full motion, again, they get better results because the absorption is there. And I'm just going to play a quick little video because Shelley is not with us this evening, and I'm going to have her share her story on how this has made an impact in her life. Well, I'm here with Shelley, my dear friend, and we're here to share just our journey on how we met and how the products from Neolife, the whole food supplements, have really impacted her life. I met Shelley, how many years ago now, Shelley? 12 years ago. And it was interesting because I had a booth and you had a booth beside me.
Yes.
And you just asked me some questions, and maybe you want to share some of the challenges that you had.
At that point, actually, I had trouble with my knees, a lot of joint pain, and I had my knees scoped in my 20s, and everything was going along really great. I was wearing some braces to kind of help me as well because I'm very active, and the pain was starting to come back. I had tried for 2 years to find a solution and couldn't find anything that actually worked. Maybe worked for a bit and then it stopped. And I was really frustrated. I wanted to stay active. And so you had shared about a product that had just come on the market, and just after doing some clinical studies. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. Within a month, I was back running without the pain.
Yeah.
And then I learned even more information, added another product that helped with inflammation, and within the year was no longer using the braces. Yeah. And 12 years later, I'm still pain-free.
Yeah. And we just wanted to share this with you because these are a couple of products that really helped me with my joint pain that I had in my knees as well, and my mom.
right? I shared that story with you with my mom's fingers and having some arthritis and some joint pain as well. And the Neolife products work. And that's why, you know, we're so passionate about what we're doing and sharing this information. So if you'd like to know more,
well, that was an interview I did a while ago, and I just wanted to share that with you. Oops, sorry. What's going on here?
There were two
Hang on a
reasons why.
second. Sorry. That's what happens when you use YouTube sometimes. Hang on a second here. So Shelley's story is quite powerful, and so grateful that you know, we have this option of videotaping and sharing YouTube, and so the journey continues. And again, this has made such an impact in my life, and I'm so grateful to share this information with you today. Now, another product to add. I just want to make sure you can see the screen again. Do you see the salmon oil? Excellent, thank you. So the omega-3 salmon oil was the other product that we talked about that's in the pack. And sometimes just starting with that Vitality pack and adding the Neolife shake for the breakfast solution, adding the extra salmon oil sometimes is needed. And it was needed for me and my mom, along with the full motion, because of the kind of joint pain that we had. And when you see what this omega-3 does, you know, it has all 8 omega-3. And we talked about it being pure and tested for 200 contaminants. When you look at the all 8, this is really key. And this is why this product works. And this is why it really just helps to reduce inflammation even more. And it was clinically proven. And I am now going to bring on our one and only Heather, who has an incredible story to share as well on her journey and staying active. So Heather.
Thanks, Nada. Yeah, there I am. It's not quite curling season yet, but I will touch on that. So my name is Heather LaCroix, and I've had joint issues pretty much all my life. Seems to run in the family, you know, chronic back pain, bad knees. And in my childhood, I had frequent sprained ankles. And then in high school, I dislocated my shoulder several times and gradually had to give up all my sports. And I was very active in high school. And then in my 30s, I was out working, teaching, and I had a bad knee injury playing basketball and ended up with a full plaster cast on my leg and crutches for 6 weeks. No fun. It turned out that I tore cartilage and ligaments. And for years, I couldn't even come close to kneeling down on the floor or playing any sports. I often suffered episodes of my back going out, you know, totally immobilized, unable to function. Turned out I had degenerated discs in my back. Well, I was introduced to Neolife when I was 45, and I started on that basic breakfast solution. And then when I found out about the help for, you know, reducing inflammation with the omega-3s, I increased my Salmon Oil Plus and then added the full motion. Well, I just turned 70 last month. And I golf 3 to 4 times a week. I curl using the sliding delivery, just like that. And in fact, I teach curling. And I snowshoe 5-kilometer races in the wintertime and Nordic pole walk year round. So I can really easily now kneel down and play with my grandchildren. Thanks to Neolife products, my body was able to heal when given the proper building blocks for the joint. And I'm really hoping that by sharing my story, I can encourage people to stay active, to regain their healthy joints, that, you know, it's never too late to get that health back, stay mobile, stay active, and just, you know, love life as you age.
I love it, Heather. I know I've seen, I like to say aging gracefully is the key. And like I said, I watched my mom over 31 years and you know, and me for 31 years, you know, being on the products, and I see even women my age that struggle with exercise and working out, and they've had to get away from that. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to do the fitness that I do. And I know I could not have done it without just supplementing what was missing in our diet. And that's the key. That's what supplements do. They don't replace, they just fill those gaps in our diet. And with good quality supplements, so much can happen. And the study that was done again, we talked about the omega-3. It was clinically proven to lower the inflammatory index 68% in just 8 weeks. Okay, and that's with taking 3 of the omega-3. So you're getting 1 in that vitality pack. So by adding 2 more, if you have, a lot of inflammation, this is something that you can add and see what happens in just a short time, in a few months. So there's also, so we've talked about osteoarthritis and wear and tear and that kind of a joint problem, but there's also other forms of arthritis or joint pain or inflammation that's to do with your immune system, gut health, digestion, that causes inflammation as well. And we'll talk a little bit about those because that's a different form of pain. And here's my mom. I mean, when I talked to my mom early in her journey of nutrition, I mean, she was really struggling and she had some digestive issues, and that we discovered later. We didn't really understand what was going on, and fibromyalgia was not being diagnosed as easily as it is today. And it took a long time before they found out what was actually wrong. And it wasn't until we improved my mom's gut and reduced inflammation that she's been able to manage her fibromyalgia for many, many years now. So I just wanted to share that with you. And this is my dear friend, Laurie, that also struggled with digestive issues and struggled with rheumatoid arthritis. I'm going to have her share her journey.
Under control and live a life where she can virtually be almost pain-free. And we all know with rheumatoid arthritis, it is something that, you'll always have the condition, but by keeping your immune system strong, you can live a longer, healthier life. So maybe you can give everybody an idea on the challenges you had and what you did through your journey.
Okay, so my rheumatoid arthritis was in my feet and my hands. I would wake up in the morning, we sleep like this. I'd wake up in the morning and I would literally have to peel my fingers open like that. To get out of bed, the thought of putting my feet on the ground was like torture to me because it hurt so bad. Once I started to move around, of course, things loosened up a little bit, but just the thought of getting out of bed was like, oh, I have to put my feet down on the ground again. So I went on all the medications that they tell you that are going to help you, and they don't tell you about all the side effects. One of the medications that I was on was destroying my esophagus, and that's when I couldn't take the medications anymore, and so I decided to go into a study where they gave me injections, which would take away my immune system so that the rheumatoid arthritis would stop. Because basically rheumatoid arthritis is your immune system attacking your joints. So if they take your immune system away, your rheumatoid arthritis is going to stop. That's the way they look at it. So I went on that for about 9 months, but I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I didn't have an immune system. So I called Nada again and I said, Nada, I've got to do something. I have to get off these injections. I've got to change my life. So she came over, she put together a program for me, and I also did some diet changes. I gave up meat, gluten, dairy, and I went on all the products that Nada suggested. And I actually did something not very smart, but I stopped taking the injections just cold turkey, which I ended up being okay with it, but maybe
it's not something that
no, I know you would. Nobody ever recommended that. That was my own decision. I decided that on myself. I just decided I was not going to put those injections in my body anymore, and I just went full force with the program for 3 months, and then another 3 months we kind of brought it down. I am now in remission. There is no sign of rheumatoid arthritis in my blood at all. I do still have the damage that was done previous to all the medications and everything, but I have no damage going further. I have very little pain in weather when it's raining, damp. Other than that, I live very differently.
I just wanted to add that a combination of gut healing, improving her digestion, eliminating some of these foods that cause inflammation, along with good supplementation that I know was mainly the like the fish oil, the grain oil, probiotics. There was a few products that we zeroed in on just to give Laurie a better chance on her cells just working better and her body working better. And yeah, I've seen such an incredible improvement. So
I can wear.
So that's my dear friend Laurie, and she's still doing amazing on the products. And there we go. And when you look at some of the aggravating factors we've talked about, Laurie was under a lot of stress for many, many years, which also caused her immune system to be compromised, which caused inflammation, which caused the pain. So in looking at, autoimmune diseases, chronic infection, gut health, food sensitivities, and she made some changes in her diet. She reduced or removed some of these foods that cause inflammation. And that's also sometimes that we look at. And sometimes people have food sensitivities or food allergies, and they're taking a lot of medication that also cause inflammation. So it masks it, but at the same time, it causes other things. So you really need to look at everything. So it's not just taking supplements alone. And when you're looking at fibromyalgia, my gosh, there's so many signs and different things that happen in the body: muscle spasms, tenderness, chronic fatigue, and bowel, IBS, and you have so many different things that can happen with brain fog, and physical or mental health also can cause this post-traumatic stress and genetics. So, it's a problem for many people, and sometimes they don't know how or why or what triggers it. But good nutrition and reducing inflammation can really play a role in reversing some of these some symptoms. And the thing is too, is adequate rest and sleep is important. Gentle exercise is important. Stretching is important. Eating a clean diet, supplementing. And the Neolife supplements that we recommend is usually that the breakfast solution, extra salmon oil, the full motion, and digestive products. Remember that gut health, to make sure that your bowels are moving, you're digesting your food properly and effectively as well. And the acidophilus is what plays a huge role in getting your digestive system working properly. And that's that good live bacteria with that good culture. It's targeted delivered as 5 billion live microorganisms per capsule, has 5 types of clinically proven probiotic, the gel guard enteric protection system as well. So it bypasses the stomach acid, opens in the intestine. One of these capsules is like eating 10 servings of yogurt without eating all the yogurt. So it's such a great product. And another product to add is aloe vera. Sometimes there's a lot of issues with inflammation in the digestive tract, and also constipation. And this, having the aloe and the acidophilus is great to add, especially if having struggle with your bowels. Because again, you got to eliminate some of these toxins. So it's really important you improve your gut, which causes you to eliminate some of these toxins that are building up in your body. And aloe, there's so much research on aloe helping with even respiratory support, blood sugar, but again, soothing the digestive system. And again, if you're under a lot of stress, this is very soothing and calming, and it promotes amazing healing. And again, reducing inflammation, and that's really, really important. So yeah, this is great for if you're under a lot of stress, help with calming. And I'm just going to play Cindy's amazing story, because Cindy has amazing results. And I met Cindy because of the struggle that she was having with fibromyalgia.
About 25 years ago with Neolife, and I had been actually introduced to Neolife through your Aunt Noreen, and she knew how much I was suffering with pain from the neck down, and I actually suffered for 5 years, and she kept sharing with me, but I finally listened, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad she was persistent. But I started just very, very basic kind of feel-good program, but I added a lot of salmon, and within 3 weeks, I noticed my energy was coming back, but within a month and a half, the chronic pain I lived with for those 5 years was gone. And as I say, it's been 25 years. I'm heading into my 70s now, and I feel better than I did in my late 30s and early 40s. So I'm so grateful for what the products have done for me, and I certainly encourage everyone to try them for sure.
Yeah,
Awesome. And that's our dear friend Cindy. So when you're looking at the targeted solutions, we talked about that basic breakfast solution. And then Cindy said she added, a little more salmon oil. But we have another special story that Jennifer is going to share. I'm just going to ask her to unmute herself because her journey is a fairly new journey. And I'd love for her to share. Thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer, tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you. I guess I have quite a few things going on. I've tried a lot of different things over the years. I guess originally I got diagnosed in 2009 after a pretty minor car accident. I just wasn't getting better. So anyways, I've just wasn't getting better. Tried a lot of different supplements and stuff over the years. Nothing worked. So I was a little hesitant, but I gave it a try. Serena, my friend Serena, I knew her from hockey and the kids and the dentist. So I tried them, and this is my 3rd month. So end of May I started. So June was my first full month. And just this Thursday past I was telling Serena about it. Like I went grocery shopping by myself. It's a big thing. Like I haven't done that in years. Like it's been years since I went grocery shopping by myself because I just couldn't do it. And I've been going like if I did that, like even when I did it years ago, like I'd be laid up for days after. Like I have fibromyalgia, I have Raynaud's, I have rheumatoid arthritis, there's palindromic rheumatism. I'm 47 now, but like this all happened in my 30s. Like I spent 2 years in bed. They didn't know what was wrong with me, and it's been a lot. So I have scoliosis, my back is bad. So there's a lot going on. So for me just to be able to go like day after day, it's just unheard of. I would like say it's just, I mean, I'm still doing it. Like I take more, like I do have more salmon oil. I take the full motion. What else? The cow meg. What else? And the chronic fatigue, the Trayanin. I take extra Trayanin. I used to fall asleep it was just, I couldn't stay awake, like days of not being able to stay awake. Like best way I could describe it is like coming out of surgery. Like as if you're like on anesthesia.
Yeah.
And it's been weeks since that happened. So it's just almost exciting. I don't know if I'm a little overwhelmed when I talk about it because it's so strange. It is. It's just.
I just want to say that I wanted to thank you for being patient because, when you shared your journey with us, we were scared. We're like, oh my gosh, can we help her? Like, it was like, there's so much going on. We didn't know where to start. So I said, let's just start slow. Let's start with, the foundation, what you were comfortable with. Then you research stuff on your own and said, I want to add more of this. I want to add a little more of this. And you were ready. And the impact, and I could see the Neolife glow. We call it the Neolife glow. When people start getting healthy and they start feeling better, looking better, you literally have this amazing glow. And I've seen some of the videos that you're posting now with your other business, and you can really see energy and
just unheard of.
Yeah.
So
I want to thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. It's very, very different. It's like say it's nothing like I've ever tried before.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. It really means a lot to us. So, and welcome
helps anybody else.
And welcome to the Neolife team. So this is the core nutrition. When you're looking at the Vitality Pack and the Neolife Shake, we call this a breakfast solution. And, you're probably wondering, well, how do I get a hold of this amazing breakfast solution? Well, it's free to become a member of our Neolife Club. And as soon as you join, you automatically get 15% off. And to get wholesale, which is 25% off of the health solution, you get 25% off when you go on NeoShip. So either that Vitality Pack or that breakfast solution, it's a month's supply. So when you set that up on NeoShip, you get wholesale price, plus you get all your shipping back in 6 months, which my customers love that because nobody likes to pay for shipping. So when they get that money back, they can spend it on other products. And then we have a referral program. So Jennifer, I know you're getting, that health solution. And when you share that, now that you have this amazing story, which many people do, they share that with 3 people, yours will be free every single month. And now that you understand the power of that product, it's so much easier to share. Many of our customers are getting their products free every single month. We even have different challenges, and sometimes people need to belong to a group to keep them accountable for healthy eating or for fitness. And to manage their weight. So some of us are creating our own little groups. Neolife has a challenge group that you can join just to keep you on track, and you can share your journey along the way, and just an incredible group that's available to you as well. So when you're looking at the Vitality Pack or the breakfast solution or the weight loss solution, these are the different solutions that we have. And again, when on NeoShip, you can get at wholesale price. And definitely the breakfast solution is the best seller. And then we also have it now as an option with the vegan protein, which is incredible. And again, when you refer 3, you get yours free. And there's a great group that we can invite you to. It's called Neolife Healthy Living Community. This is an old picture. We have over 10,000 members in this group now. And Jennifer would love for you to post your story in this group. It's very easy to do. You just go to the group. Yeah, because I know you're a member. Put your picture in and share your story. Just maybe not like the whole version, just a very short version of your powerful story, because this is where people will go to this group, read these stories and testimonials, and share it with many others, because there's many testimonials in there. And when they read one and they read another and they read another, like, wow, these stories change people's lives. And then there's one more option. And many of you know that I was a police officer and I had a great career, but I was looking for time freedom. I was looking for something else. So we do have another option for those of you that are looking maybe to generate a little extra income, to have tax savings at the end of the year. That's all I wanted initially. But if you are someone really enjoys helping others, there's a great income opportunity for people, especially when you have an impact in people's lives, like you heard from Jennifer and Heather today, and some of the other stories that you've heard this evening. They really impact people's lives, and you can build an incredible business because of the results on the products, because people will come back month after month when they start feeling better. So whether you're here just to look at, using some of the products, getting a discount, becoming a club member, we welcome you. If you're curious about the income, just ask the person that invited you here tonight. And if you'd like to learn more, just join us on our weekly calls. We have different topics every Thursday night. We learn more about the products and how they can really truly impact your life. So I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I will be stopping the recording and opening up to any questions that you may have. So again, thank you all for sharing with us this evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.